Hey, welcome back. My name is Dino. This video is on the legendary Ivy Lee, a public relations pioneer. Gonna go a bit into Mr. Lee's background. He was in addition to PR, he was a publicity expert. He graduated from Princeton, and he worked previously as a reporter in the New York Times, The World, and The American, which were publications back in the day. Definitely his reporting has something to do with some of the impacts that he had in PR and communications more generally. He worked in public relations across a number of different industrial sectors, including automobiles, meatpacking, rubber, steel, and tobacco, which makes sense given what were big industries back in those days. He was also formerly the publicity director for the American Red Cross, and he provided a great amount of pro bono work, free work, that helped to contribute to his image, which, it's nice you're doing the work. It does help people's image, so at least he helped. Some of his notable clients included the Rockefeller family, which again was if not the biggest, but one of the biggest families in terms of wealth in the U.S. at the time, and again the American Red Cross. He started his own PR firm. He opened the third PR firm in U.S. history, so he was at the very forefront of this industry. The firm was characterized by journalistic qualities, accuracy, authenticity, and interest, which again goes back to his time as a reporter. In another video, we'll be talking about his declaration of principles. He actually issued a formal declaration of principles to help make public relations more legitimate as an industry. And he demonstrated commitment to these journalistic principles, which again helped to contribute not only to his work and make it more robust, but also to the industry as a whole. Some of his major PR campaigns include the Pennsylvania Railroad wreck. It was a 1906 fatal train accident in Atlantic City. Mr. Lee held on-site briefings, distributed fact sheets, made executives available for interviews, and he's issued what is considered to be the first press release. So when you read or create a press release, you know who to thank or to vilify. He persuaded the company to disclose information to journalists before they could hear it elsewhere, to establish trust. These PR actions were well received by news, the public, and the government. So, again, a pioneer in many of these techniques that are very common now, but weren't back in 1906. One of his biggest things that he did was to soften the image of John D. Rockefeller. Before 1914, he was seen, Rockefeller, not Lee, as a ruthless robber baron, someone who was quite wealthy, and some of the negatives that are perceived by the public because of that. At the time, before 1914, many saw him as one of the most hated men in America. However, Ivy Lee improved Rockefeller's image. He helped to redress worker grievances, improve wages, working conditions, and negotiated contracts. About 15 years later, by the 1930s, Rockefeller was seen as a generous humanitarian and philanthropist, and you can see that in some of any types of buildings or initiatives that had the Rockefeller name that still lasts today. Finally, again, Lee worked for the American Red Cross. The Red Cross became a Lee client during the First World War. It was indistinguishable from other first aid organizations at the time. However, Lee combined facts, stats, and personal stories, like stories from victims and volunteers, to help humanize the Red Cross. And eventually, over time, it was seen as one of the most respected service organizations in the world. So the Red Cross is still around today, has a very pristine reputation, and part of that has to do with Mr. Ivy Lee. That was Ivy Lee, Public Relations Pioneer. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to like this video if you like it. Please feel free to add comments about his background. We talk about how journalism with the New York Times and other publications helped to inform his practice, the creation of the third PR firm in U.S. history, as well as some of his major PR campaigns, which were iconic at the time and very revolutionary for the time, and they were so good that some of the practices still hold today. As always, if you like this type of content, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.